check the status of aging cases, see if we can resolve some or set some on the calendar for trial. I am going to call the entire status calendar. When I call your name, please indicate whether or not you are present and whether or not you're represented. If you wish to have the services of the Public Defender's Office, please let me know at this time. All right, we're going to begin with Ahmed. I'm probably pronouncing that very incorrectly. Last name is Abusemed.
Good afternoon, Judge. How are you?
Hi, Ms. Gideon. How are you?
I'm good. That case was reset to June 7th.
All right. So I'll note the reset. Thank you. Jarquavius Alexander.
Good afternoon, Judge. That's my case. Is Mr. Alexander on the Zoom?
I just let him into the Zoom room.
Okay.
All right. So I'm assuming you'll need to speak with him.
Well, no, this is a case I have some questions about with the prosecution. And so I can tell you, we're probably not going to be able to get this resolved today. So we can just go and move this to a final plea calendar.
All right. Well, let's at least try to pre-try it.
Okay. Okay.
All right. Anthony Armstrong. Is Mr. Armstrong present?
He is incarcerated, Your Honor, and we are trying to still figure out if he can do a plea in absentia.
Okay, so we will reset to a final plea? No?
If arrangements can be made for him to do the plea.
Who's he represent? Who represents? He has an attorney?
He does not, Your Honor.
He does not. Okay. Ms. Falk, I'll accept I'm not sure where to put that case. If the gentleman is incarcerated and there's no chance there's probably a small chance he could do a plea in absentia.
Well, we would have to send him a packet to wherever he's currently incarcerated, which he would then have to fill out and send back to us in order to do a plea in absentia at this point.
So we probably just need to reset. This is his first time, so let's reset him to another status.
Yes,
We'll send it on to the June 7th status. Am I out of spaces there, Ms. Redden? How many spaces do I have? Okay. All right. Show cause only has 20 spaces. Status has 25. Now we have 24?
Yes.
Okay. All right. Trayvon Billings.
That is my case, Judge, and he's positioned 4, 5, and 6.
Yes. I'm here.
All right, Mr. Billings, turn your camera on or else it's as if you aren't present, okay? Okay, hold on. Let me speak with your attorney.
I have not had a chance to speak with Mr. Billings, and that's because he was he's just recently been released from the cab.
Okay.
And so I've not spoken to him at all in any of his cases. He probably didn't even know that I was his lawyer.
Okay, so we'll hold for that case. We'll allow you to speak with Mr. Billings, all right? Trayana Bumpers. Is Ms. Bumpers present? Corey Clark.
Her attorney is
Right here.
I'm sorry, Ms. Githier, go ahead.
Ms. Bumper's attorney is on Zoom. I'm not seeing Ms. Bumpers.
Okay, my calendar doesn't have an entry of an attorney. Who represents Ms.
Good
Bumpers?
afternoon. Good afternoon, Judge. Judge, I had a conflict in another court. I'm just calling in right now. I hope the court can hear me.
We
I'm the
can.
attorney on the case.
And your name, I can hear you, but I can't see you. What's your name?
Sure, Judge. This is Attorney Samad Mubeen, Mubeen. Like I said, I'm driving from another appearance. I don't have my file in front of me. But
Is your client on the Zoom conference? And are you going to be able to pre-try this case today, Mr. Mubeen?
She should be, Judge, and I can check in with her. We were hoping to get this case briefly continued. I think which one we should be able to resolve. We're waiting for the state to get back to us on whether a certain amendment may be able to be made. So that's kind of the status of where we're at right now.
Okay, so it sounds like we're not in a position to pre-try or resolve this case today. Mr. Mubeen and Ms. Githier, does that sound about right?
That's correct, Your Honor. We're still hoping to work this out.
So we'll put that one on the June 7th as well. All right, Mr. Mubeen, you and your client can be excused.
Thank you, Judge. I appreciate it.
Okay. Hold on one second. Did you see that email? Ms. Redden, hold one moment. There's are we allowed to lock the door? I don't know what the rules are. There, I'm gonna mute for one moment. Ms. Redden, if you would share that information. I don't know what the rules are. I know with open courtroom, we have to unlock, we keep the door locked, but there's been a security alert. That's what I was asking, are we allowed to lock this door?
They are locking, they have the front doors locked, so they're escorting people into the courthouse. Let me go check with them.
Okay, we're gonna take a very brief recess. All right, we'll keep calling names. Corey Clark.
I'm here, Your Honor.
Okay, Mr. Clark, do you have an attorney?
I called the public defender office and filled out my form. I went on somebody to call me back, but they never got called me back.
Ms. Helen, are you present on Zoom?
I am.
Can you assist Mr. Clark and see if he qualifies?
Sure, if Mr. Clark could message me his phone number and email address in the chat, can you do that?
Yes, ma'am.
Mr. Clark, please do that, and we're gonna go on with the calendar. Ms. Helen will assist you, okay?
Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
All right, Kenesha Clark.
Yes. And Judge, that's my case. Ms. Clark has completed diversion. I've submitted that completion certificate to Ms. Githia. I don't know if she's in court or online to adhere or confirm that she's received it, Judge, but we've completed our end of that diversion program.
All right, Ms. Githia, any announcement?
I have received it, Your Honor, and we can just have this reset for compliance.
Okay. I'm sorry, you said this is the reset for compliance? Ms.
No,
Githia?
I did receive the paperwork yesterday.
Oh, and you're,
I'm asking
okay.
for a reset
Okay.
for compliance.
Okay, that was what I was making sure of. All right, so we will reset this case to the June 7th calendar for compliance, all right? Thank you. And Ms. Clark, you're free to go. Make sure you stay in contact with Ms. Helen, okay?
Thank you, Judge.
Okay, as long as you're okay. Thank you. All right, Sequan Cruz. Is Mr. Cruz present? He was present this morning.
His attorney filed a leave of absence, Your Honor.
Okay, I remember you weren't with us this morning, but he popped onto the Zoom this morning, anxious to discuss this matter. Perhaps he's spoken to his attorney. So we will reset that case. Is it already been reset? If not, we'll reset it to the June 7th. We'll reset it to June 7th. All right, Alex Dodd.
Present.
All right, Mr. Dodd, do you have an attorney?
Yes,
Okay,
I think he's supposed to be on here. If not,
we
I'm
can't
not
hear
sure
you.
when he will be joining.
We can't hear you, Mr. Dodd. And if everyone on the Zoom would please change your name to first and last name, please. All right, Mr. Dodd, I'm sorry. You said that you had an attorney who was supposed to be on the Zoom.
Yes,
Mr.
Melanic's supposed to be in the Zoom meeting, but I'm not sure if he's late or not gonna show up.
All right, Mr. Dodd, we'll come back to you. Why don't you see if your attorney, why don't you reach out to your attorney to see if your attorney is able to appear, okay?
Okay.
Okay. All right, Eugene Holder. Eugene Holder. I don't see that person online. Shantiri Jackson.
Good morning, Judge. How you doing? This Ms. Clemens, the victim witness advocate for the
Hi, Ms. Clemens, how are you?
Good. I spoke to the victim on Mr. Holder case, and he's actually incarcerated.
Oh, the Mr. Holder is incarcerated.
Yes.
Okay, thank you. Okay. Shantiri Jackson. Atlantis McClendon.
Oh, I'm sorry, Your Honor, if we can go back to Ms. Jackson, I'm showing that a warrant was issued on April 6, 2022.
Okay. Okay, thank you, Ms. Githia. All right, Atlantis McClendon. I
And
see Ms.
those are my
McClendon.
cases. I believe she's present on Zoom. I don't know if she can hear. I don't know if she can hear,
I can see her, yes.
but she is present on Zoom, Judge, and she is also positions 14 and 15. Judge, for these two cases, I've submitted a referral to DUI court for both of these cases to be heard together. I think her audio is logging in here though, Judge. And so that's where we're at with both of these cases to be resolved together through DUI court.
Okay, and I know the procedure is someone has to let you know whether or not those cases will be accepted, correct?
Correct, Judge, and I have sent that referral.
Okay, so we'll reset it to the status in June just to see if it was accepted. And if not, we'll see if we can go forward from here.
And that is the June 7th?
Yes, June 7th, status calendar, and it'll be at the same time.
Understood, Judge.
All right,
And is Miss McClendon free to go today?
she is, she's free to go.
Thank you, Judge.
All right, Bobby McClyde. Houston Newsom.
Yes, Your Honor, I'm here. I'm present.
All right, do you have an attorney, Mr. Newsom?
At this time, I do not.
Do you wish to have the services of the public defender's office today?
Yes, if possible.
All right, please chat Ms. Helen your email address and your phone number so that we can see if you qualify for their services, and we'll come back to you, okay? Thank you.
Okay.
Brian Parker. Brian Parker.
I'm here.
Okay, Mr. Parker. Do you have an attorney? I see your attorney is David Walker. Is your attorney going to be present today?
Actually, I don't have an attorney anymore. I decided I was going to settle, and last time we came, and I was supposed to get an email on a class that I had to take, and I got an email.
Okay, hold on one
On the
second.
class, it was an email.
Hold on 1 second. Ms. Githia, do you have any information regarding what he might be speaking about? I don't want him to say too much or tell me too much.
Yes, Your Honor. He was offered diversion and the forms were emailed to him, and I just never heard back from him.
Okay, so Mr. Parker, you were supposed to submit the forms back to Ms. Githia. Did you receive those forms?
No, ma'am, I did not receive those forms.
Okay, Ms. Githia, I know that you sent them and I believe you. Would you mind sending them one more time? Once Mr. Parker has confirmed receipt, we will allow him to go and we will reset him to status, okay? So Mr. Parker, you stay on the line, chat and email address. Don't put it in the main chat. Send it directly to ASG Sarita Githia. She will resubmit those forms to you. Once you confirm that you have them, you'll be able to go, okay?
ASC, okay, all right.
All right, Khadijah Shabazz.
Good afternoon, Judge. That's my case. I see she's present on Zoom. I'll announce pretrial in that matter. I just need to speak with her briefly.
Okay, thank you. Xavier Stevenson, or Xavier Stevenson. Xavier Stevenson. LaShawn Williams. LaShawn
Yes,
Williams.
ma'am.
Judge, that's my case.
Oh, good afternoon, Mr. Korn. Do you have an announcement?
Yes, Judge. Would the state put the plea offer on the record, please?
Okay, so we're gonna pre-try that one. We'll come back to it. Thank you. Please.
I need to, ma'am, I'm sorry, Your Honor. I thought Ms. Githia could just put the plea offer on the record. She's already made it. I just wanted to put it on the record.
You sound very muffled. We can't hear you, Mr. Corn. Can you move just a little bit closer? And to be clear, your client is LaShawn Williams, correct?
Correct.
Okay. You're asking for the offer to put on the record you don't believe we'll be able to reach a resolution today?
I do not, Judge. We would ask to be placed on the trial calendar.
All right. Are you asking for a jury trial at this time?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. Ms. Githia, in light of that information, will you go ahead and put the offer onto the record?
The offer is 12 months to serve 90 days, credit for time served 3 days, to serve the remaining 87 days, a family violence intervention program, and no contact with Jasmine Moss, 40 hours of community service, and a $500 fine. It sounds like that Mr. Corn is rejecting that offer. So if this matter, the state withdraws his offer.
Okay, I think we understand that. We'll reset this case for the notice for jury trial. Mr. Williams, make sure you keep your address current with the court and with your attorney. You will get another notice regarding a jury trial date. As everyone is aware at this point, we are handling jury trials within Orca, so it won't be an impossibly long period of time that this case will be revisited. It's
Good.
my hope that we can continue to negotiate and come to a resolution. All right? Mr. Williams is on Zoom, Ms. Redden. So is it possible he's not gonna be able to sign the order?
He can electronically sign.
Okay, so Mr. Williams, you're gonna get some documents via email. Please make sure you don't ignore those. Please sign those and return them back. Okay?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, you're free to go at this time.
Thank you, Your Honor.
All right, Terrell Williams.
Oh, a leave of absence was filed, Your Honor, in that case.
Oh, I see. You're right. I saw the no process and didn't announce that one. So, all right, we're gonna reset this one to, it needs to be a Thursday. Okay, so you'll give me a Thursday. This one will be reset. Ms. Redden will announce the reset date as we review the calendar. All right, Robert Willis.
Good afternoon, Judge. That's my case. Is Robert Willis present on Zoom? Or Robert Willis in the courtroom?
No. All right,
Judge, I just asked that we at least hold the case at the end of the call of the calendar, or at least before we leave.
that's reasonable. We'll hold for a reasonable period of time. All right, Adrian Woods. All right, Mr. Woods, do you have an attorney? You've already been qualified by the public defender's office? Do you remember who you spoke with? Okay, Mr. Gaither, will you speak to Mr.
Sure.
Woods? We'll put that down. Please have a seat. We'll be back with you, Mr. Woods. Thank you. That concludes the entire status conference calendar. I'm now gonna call the drag racing calendar. Raphael Adams. Do you have, please stand. Ms. Adams, do you have an attorney?
No, not at this time.
Okay. Do you wish to see if you qualify for the services of the public defender's office? Okay, please have a seat. Mr. Gaither will get with you, or someone will. Mr. Gaither, you may need some assistance. Armani Blackshire?
Here.
All right, Mr. Blackshire, do you have an attorney at this time? Do you wish to see the services of the public defender?
Yeah.
All right, please have a seat. Do we have any applications here in the office? I mean, the office, the courtroom, that they can start filling out while we do this?
That's fine, Judge. I can talk to him. I can.
Are you gonna speak to
Yep,
each one?
I will.
I was trying to help you speed it along.
But,
It's okay.
I'm asking the court to trust me.
I trust you.
Okay.
Okay. You know your job better than I do. Nicholas Valuda. I'm sorry, I'm saying that terribly. Please say how to say that. Valuda. I was closer than I thought.
Right, I'm Michael Scott, Judge. We have a plea that should be signed up any second here.
Okay, sounds good. We'll prepare to take that plea shortly. Timothy Horn.
Good morning, Judge. Reginald Wickford here on behalf of Mr. Horn. Mr. Horn is here as well.
All right, your announcement.
We've entered a plea in this case already, and we're just here for sentencing. We've reached an agreement on what the new sentence should be. And as long as you are willing to make the announcement what that sentence is, that will conclude our business here.
Okay, Ms. Falk, if you read me the consented, the consent.
Yes, Your Honor. The only modification there was to the sentence is that instead of 30 days jail to be served on work release, it would be 30 days on an ankle monitor.
Okay, what was the entire sentence? I'm sorry, just so we have the record perfected.
Give me just a minute.
I will, give me 1 second, I'm gonna keep calling, but we'll go to yours first, so as Ms. Falk gets ready.
Yes, sir.
Charles Jackson,
Ma'am.
do you have an attorney?
No, ma'am, not at all.
Do you wish to have services of public defender's office?
No, ma'am.
Do you wish to go pro se?
I'm sorry, I don't understand.
Do you want to represent yourself?
No, ma'am, I get a lawyer.
Okay, well, you have a seat. Yeah, take a moment. When did notices go out regarding this hearing? Quite some time, I'm sure. All right, we're gonna reconsider that, Mr. Jackson. Brianna Redfern. Okay. Jarius Roberts. You're Mr. Roberts? Do you have an attorney?
No, ma'am.
Do you wish to have the services of the public defender's office?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, someone will speak with you shortly. Please have a seat.
Okay, can I wait, know that they have put the wrong name on there too?
What is the correct name?
There is, here.
Okay, there should be a T in your name.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, we'll correct the spelling. All right, thank you for letting me know. Jacob Samuels. David Seaborn. All right.
That'll be a quick trial.
Okay, thank you. Oliver Welch.
Oliver Welch, pleaded.
Oh, yeah, no problem. I see it. Thank you, Ms. Falk. All right, Ms. Falk, if you would go ahead and put that onto the record.
Yes, Your Honor, actually. Not stated in the record, so. Okay.
Okay,
Well,
well,
copy of that, I can put it on the record. In the meantime, however, Your Honor, the state would ask for a bench warrant of position 6 and 8, Brianna Redfern and Jacob.
I'm assuming that the state always wishes bench warrants for those that don't appear.
Everybody who wants to speak, we just give me a second.
And Mr. Jackson, I think you should speak with Mr. Gaither as well, even though I cannot force you to do so. Who's cashier coming in late? Someone's coming in late. If it's too much trouble, we can just go with it, but I like to have the whole offer.
No, I agree that we need to protect the record, so.
Position.
On this calendar?
Yes.
Okay, you're Jacob Samuels, you just came in.
Yes, ma'am.
Please stand. You, the state had just requested a bench warrant in your case. You weren't on time, Mr. Samuels. Do you have an attorney?
No, ma'am, I do not.
Do you wish to have the services of the public defender's office today?
Excuse me?
Do you want to see if you qualify for the services of the public defender's office?
Sure.
All right, have a seat. Someone will speak with you shortly, all right? All right, so the consented sentence is 12 months probation. Nope. Oh, that's a different, oh, okay. I'm sorry. Okay. They're ready for the plea. I'm thinking I was getting Ms. Falk's.
I believe that's the plea on Mr. Wisconsin.
Okay, yes. I thought I was receiving the,
We can address that, which will give us time to pull the plea.
okay, so let's take the plea. We can take the plea and then once we find out, you all will be free to go, okay?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, let's take the case of Nicholas Galuda, 22 CR 007131
Judge, sitting at the table, Judge, or in front of you, or?
It doesn't matter.
Here,
Somewhere
sorry.
with the microphone, so those on Zoom
Thank you.
can still hear. In this case, defendant is charged with speeding, reckless driving, and racing with the offense date of July the 4th of 2020. Mr. Baluta, you have certain rights today. First, you have the absolute right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you. You also have the right to an attorney today. Do you understand your rights?
Yes.
All right, I'm gonna place you under oath for the limited purpose of taking the plea such that it does not interfere with your right to remain silent, all right? Do you swear and affirm the testimony you give today for taking a plea will be the truth to the best of your knowledge? Please raise your hand. And under the penalty of perjury?
Yes.
All right, you can put your hand down. Ms. Falk, if you very briefly give me the factual basis here as well as your recommendation.
Yes, Your Honor. This incident happened July 4th, 2020 at approximately 11:00 PM. Officers observed two vehicles driving at a high rate of speed, racing each other. The radar picked up the fastest vehicle at 122 miles per hour. The officer then pulled the vehicle over, spoke with the defendant, who was Mr. Baluta, informed him that he observed him racing. He did acknowledge he was racing, but did not know who the driver of the other vehicle was. The defendant at that time was then, actually, he was not placed under arrest. He was given citations and released, and his vehicle was impounded. The state's recommendation on this case, Your Honor, is as to count one, the speeding, it's going to be 12 months probation, a $200 fine. As to count two, the reckless driving, that was murder, count three. As to count three, 12 months probation, a $500 fine to run concurrent with count one for a total of 12 months probation and $700 fine. And the state would also ask Mr. La Scala to stipulate and the defendant to stipulate the venue, identity, and gosh, I don't know the last thing. Venue, identity, and
The factual basis. I don't know unless I say it in order. Factual basis, identity, and then you stipulate.
I stipulate, I've talked to, it's Officer Noble. I've known him forever. He's a good officer. I've seen his video. I've seen the report. I've talked to Solicitor Falk ad nauseum about this. She's gonna be glad to have me out of her hair, I'm sure. I think it's a fair resolution. The client made a mistake. He accepts that. He's ready to pay the fine today, Judge.
All right. I'm gonna ask you some questions to make sure this is voluntary, all right? Remember, you're still under oath. I thought I was gonna ask them. My brain as well. Are you under the influence of any drugs or alcohol at this time?
No.
Are you satisfied with your attorney's representation?
Yes.
Are you sure? Pause for a moment.
Oh, no, I hope so.
Your attorney got you a pretty good deal. I would say you should be
Yeah, it is.
satisfied. All right. Did anyone force you to take a plea today?
No.
Did anyone promise you anything in exchange for taking a plea?
No.
Do you understand that with taking a plea, you're giving up your right to a full trial where you may have been able to present some defenses in your favor?
I'm sorry, I did not understand.
So basically, you're giving up your right to a trial to get this dismissed or any other resolution. There's no other court dates about this. Do you understand that?
Yes.
And you understand you're giving up your right to have the state prove these charges against you beyond a reasonable doubt?
Yes.
And you understand that you will be on probation and you're gonna have some fines to pay? You
Yes.
understand that? All right, as to the charges I previously listed, Mr. Baluta, how do you plead?
Sorry.
Guilty or not guilty?
Oh, yes.
Guilty.
How do you plead?
Guilty.
I accept your guilty plea. Anything further, Ms. Falk or counsel, anything else?
nothing further from the state.
Judge, the only special condition, which he's completed the defensive driving for the court's edification, but the only other special condition would be the fine which you can pay today. So we'd either just ask the case be suspended or non-reporting.
He can go non-reporting. All right.
All right. Will he be able to pay that online or do I need to walk him over to the?
And he's got to wait a second for it to get entered and then he can walk over and pay.
Okay. Okay. Awesome. Thank you, Judge. Maybe I got to jump on a Zoom.
Yes, he can be
Thank you.
excused.
All right. Does he need to wait around to sign it? Can I start walking?
He's gotta wait for the citation information, I believe. Correct, Ms. Redden? Just one moment. All right, Ms. Falk, do we have the sentence yet?
Got it. We are going to obtain the physical file, which should have the paper.
Oh, no. Okay, I'm sorry, sir. Please tell me your name again.
Reginald Winfrey.
Mr. Winfrey, you don't have an email or something where we could just read into the record what it was rather than sending everyone looking for a physical file? If we can just find the whole thing, you guys can get out of here. And I understand we are working on a different calendar, but Miss Helen or Miss Githier or if anyone on Zoom has announcements, I'm happy to take those announcements as we go.
Your Honor, yes, I actually do. For position number 9, Kanisha Clark. She has complied and has completed the required courses. I'm going to submit a null pros order on that one.
Okay, wonderful. And so she will not need to appear or be removed from that calendar. Thank you, Ms. Githier.
Thank you.
Excuse me, Your Honor, it's Mr. Cruz again.
Oh, Mr. Cruz, we called your name. You were early yet late, all in the same day. We've been informed that your attorney filed a conflict. So your case is gonna be reset to the June 7th calendar, and you're gonna log on the same way that you did today, okay? So
And what time would that be?
That should be at 1:30, okay? So you'll
Okay.
log on June 7th at 1:30, all right?
Okay, thank you very much. I
Take
appreciate you.
care. Have a good afternoon.
You too.
Your Honor, we do have our email correspondence. I had Mr. Winfrey look at it. At least this is correct as well.
All right,
Your Honor wants me to go ahead and put that. on.
please go ahead and put it onto the record.
That's one plea and eluding 12 months probation with 50 days to serve. Balance probated at $1,000 fine. That is the count that will be changing from 30 days to serve in jail to 30 days on house arrest. Count 2, reckless driving, 12 months probation, a $500 fine. Counts 3 through 5 dismissed. Count 6, 12 months probation. Count 7 through 9 dismissed. Count 10, 12 months probation. Count 11 dismissed. Count 12 months to serve 30 days, which will be converted to ankle monitor, balance probated, a $500 fine. Count 13 and 14 dismissed.
All right, since the defendant has previously taken the plea, there's no plea paperwork. So what I need to do is probably strike through the old
That is
paperwork.
correct.
Do we have that? Okay, okay.
Judge, I would just like to add for the record as well, all of those sentences are running concurrent.
Concurrent with one another.
All right. All right, this is an unusual situation. I just have to ask, so the plea was taken and you continue to negotiate?
So Judge
Technically,
Morrow,
no,
right,
but
Judge
any of that.
Morrow handled the plea. It was for 30 days in jail to be served as work release. Unfortunately, neither of us were aware. I was misinformed that there was no work release available at the jail, so the
Yeah.
judge had us come back to modify. the plea.
To modify, but that's fine. All right, so I believe I can just change the order. I think we have it. So I believe he can go.
Does he need to, do we need to sign anything or?
No, he's gonna have to sign. Yeah,
Okay.
that's true. All right, so please hold for one moment.
We have- No problem.
And then told if you want the ankle monitor done within a certain period of time, I need to have the ankle monitor they're available.
Okay.
Are there stipulations?
I would like it to be done within the next, at least by next week, so. So I can give him 7 days to get it done.
So what does that mean? You have an ankle monitor on, but it won't be activated yet for 7,
No, it'll be active.
but they have 7 days for to come put it on.
Correct.
So we're just waiting right now to hear back from them.
Yeah.
Can we sit outside the courtroom?
can.
All right.
Okay, in the case of Mr. Seaborn, you asked the pre-trial with Ms. Falk. Is that correct?
Mr. Mitchell, yes, did want to discuss Mr. Seaborn's case with me.
Is that the only case you have to pre-try? I think you may have one more.
Mr.
Well, let's let the I'll let you decide who you speak to first. Well, let's let the pre-trying begin. All right. Is there any, let's see, let's go back to our status calendar. There's several people waiting. Mr. Parker, did you receive the information from Ms. Githier?
Yes, I did.
You got it? Okay, so we're gonna reset your case. You need to get that form back to her so that we can check on it. You're gonna be reset to the June 7th status calendar. It's my expectation that you're gonna submit those forms to her right away so that we can make some announcements on June 7th, okay?
Yes, ma'am. How do I mean, do I print this form off and then
Yes,
and bring it
you're
to her
gonna have to,
office?
Ms. Gizia, what is your preferred way to receive these documents? Do you need him to print and fax, scan? What would you like him to do to get these back to you?
If he can complete it and just email it back to me, that'd be great.
Okay, so.
My email address is on the email that I sent him.
Okay, so you're probably gonna have to print it out. It sounds like it's not something you can type in. I'm not
Okay.
sure. So you
Yeah,
need to
okay.
print it and scan it back to Ms. Gizia. And on June 7th, we're gonna have some announcements as to what happens with your case then, okay?
Okay.
All right. And
Thank you,
Mr.
ma'am.
Gates, take care. Have a good day.
You
Mr.
too.
Gates is out pre-trying the rest of the cases, I believe. Mr. Corn or Ms. Helen, any announcements? Mr. Dodd, are you still present? Were you able to get in touch with your attorney? Mr. Dodd, did you turn on your camera?
I don't know. It's saying that I can't cut my camera on.
All right, what, did you speak with your attorney? Is your attorney gonna show today?
He said he was, but I'm not sure as to if he's even in.
Okay, let's hold for him. Thank you.
Mr. Dodd, you could turn your camera on.
I did speak with Attorney Melnick this morning, and it was my understanding that he was going to be on.
Okay, we'll give him a few more moments. All right, I'm assuming we'll be on a brief recess as we wait for announcements.
Adams.
Oh, I see. Okay, that's what I said. See, that's why I would get that first. Okay, okay. No. Yeah, okay. Oh, okay. Okay.
Where did Mr. Winfrey go? Where did Mr. Winfrey go? He's out there. Okay, let me get him to sign this number.
At this point, we're gonna sign on the side with today's date.
Sign on the
side with today's date, if you already, did he put?
So what I can do is change this date to today's date and then have him re-sign it. No problem. Today is May 3rd.
Yeah.
Oh, Mr. Melnick, I see you on the Zoom conference. Can you see and hear me?
Yes, Judge,
All right, and you represent Mr. Dodd?
I do.
Do you have, Ms. Githia is on the line as well. I understand that there's been some discussion and negotiation. Do you have an announcement for the resolution of this case today?
Judge, I expect we'll be able to resolve it. I was just gonna ask you to put it down on a plea calendar or on another calendar in the future for us to enter the plea.
Okay, so most of our final plea calendars are in person. The next one would be an in-person calendar on June the 7th. Would that give you and Ms. Githia enough time
Yes,
to
it will.
resolve any outstanding issues? Ms. Githia, you concur? Okay, so Mr. Dodd will be reset to a final plea calendar on June the 7th. I believe that that's at 9 a.m.
Thank you, Judge.
All right, you're free to go, Mr. Melnick, as are you, Mr. Dodd. Take care and have a good day.
Thank you. I did have one other question unrelated to this case. I'm on another one of these calendars on Monday, May the 8th. I had not received notice, my client did. It was the same with this calendar today as well. And we had appeared on a calendar on that same, I just actually, what I really need to know is who do I need to talk to about the calendar on Monday? Who can I send my notices to?
Okay, the litigation manager who is assigned to me today, Ms. Redden, is gonna send you an email with some information about how to address that, okay?
Okay, thank you, Judge.
Oh, wait, don't hang up yet. She's gonna put her email in the chat. One
Gotcha.
second. Send her an email and then she'll respond back.
Okay, thank you.
But Mr. Dodd is free to go.
All right, thank you, Judge.
Martin Blackshear.
Here's the paperwork on Mr. Winfrey. And Your Honor, I have spoken to Mr. Mitchell. He is talking to his client, Mr. Seeger.
Be free to go.
Thank you very much, Judge.
Already,
I was not able to contact the electronic monitoring companies, but I can give you the contact information that I have to use.
Mr. Winfrey will present to me within 7 days proof that his client has been set up for that monitor. Thank you.
Thank you.
Take care, have a good day. I have forgotten about you. And Ms. Gibbier, Ms. Helen, any announcements from those on Zoom? I guess particularly Ms. Helen, does anyone qualify?
You just got instructions. You're welcome. Yes, ma'am, it doesn't. I missed out, sorry.
I apologize, Judge, if anyone called me and was looking for me. I was on the phone with Mr. Clark, position 8 on the status conference calendar. Which ASG is that assigned to?
I think that's Ms. Gibbier, is that correct?
Yes, that is.
And Ms. Githier, if you could put that offer in a chat or whatever would be best.
Okay.
I will send it to you.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you so very much for the time and call.
Long as it's not within the next 7 days. Okay, thank you so much. It's all. You'll be able to do it within the next 7 days. Yes, once I get out of court, I'm going to send her over the settlement sheet and the contact information. You'll be able to do it before the thing.
I apologize, Ms. Githier. I'm being booted in and out of this Zoom chat, so it's deleting my messages. If you could just email me that offer, I apologize. Thank you.
Will do.
Mr. Gaither, you have some announcement?
Yes, there's, I have, they, okay, hold on, let me. Uh-oh.
I'm ready whenever you are.
All right. Okay, with the status conference calendar, Judge, Mr. Position 2, Jaquavis Alexander. We need to further notice that to the next, I'm gonna say status conference calendar. The reason why, I really think I really think the state has the wrong defendant.
Okay, so there's no need to discuss the offer there.
No, yeah, I really think they have the wrong defendant.
All right, so we'll reset that to the June 7th status.
Okay,
In the hopes that there'll be some additional information there.
and I'll reach out to this prosecutor as well.
All right.
Can I say something?
No, Mr. Alexander, I don't want you to say something that may be used against you, okay? Your attorney has already raised what he believes is a valid defense here, okay? So does he have your phone number?
Yes, he does, Judge.
Okay, so please give him a call following this hearing, but otherwise, Mr. Alexander, you're free to go, okay?
All right.
Listen, Alexander, we'll talk, okay?
All right. But it wasn't regarding the case though.
Okay, what's your question? Very briefly.
Is there any way like we can cause this been hanging over my head for a minute and I'm trying to get this over with the quick as I can, man.
We understand, but in light of what your attorney has said, there's nothing we can do about it today. But
Yes, ma'am.
the wheels of justice are in motion, okay? So
All right.
let's stay in touch with Mr. Gaither. He's working on it.
All right. I appreciate that, Mr. Gates.
All right.
Okay, no problem. And so Judge, now positions 4, 5, and 6, Mr. Trevon Billings. I mean, he has 3 cases and they look pretty involved, and they are pretty involved. We're gonna have to further notice this. Like I said, I haven't had a chance to speak to him at all. He was just recently released.
It's present, okay. All right. We will reset this case to June 7th. It was my hope we can make some progress with it today.
Can I be able to talk
Can you
to him?
say June 2nd?
Oh, hold 1 second.
All I was saying, the reason we can't resolve it today, Judge, today, I didn't even know whether he was gonna show up or not. I haven't spoken with Mr. Billings at all. He was incarcerated in DeKalb.
But do you have his contact information now?
No, that's what I need, that too.
Billings, you're on the Zoom conference. Are you at a medical facility, Mr. Billings? Where are you? We can't see you.
Hello?
Yes, Mr. Billings, we can't see you. Where are you?
Right here at work. I work at a car wash.
Okay,
Oh.
Mr. Billings, your attorney needs to speak with you. We need a phone number where he can reach you. Are you able to type that into the chat?
Yes, ma'am.
Ms. Casey, are there offers on these cases at this time?
Yes, Your Honor, offers were sent to Mr. Gaither on April 26th on all 3 cases.
Will you read them onto the record for us?
Yes, for case 19 CR 000-241C, count 1 is 12 months to serve 30 days, credit for time served 4 days.
Who?
The 26 days to be served, 26 remaining days to be served, the ballot suspended. Count 2, 12 months to serve 4 days, credit for time served 4 days, ballot suspended. Count 3 would be null pros, and it'd be concurrent with the other 2 cases. For case 19 CR 005611C.
Please mute Mr. Billings so we can hear the offers in your case.
On both counts, it is 12 months to serve 30 days. 4 anger management classes, 1 parenting class, and a $250 restitution to Ms. Austin. And that's concurrent with the other 2 cases. And for case 21 CR 007110C, it is 12 months to serve 4 days, credit for time served, ballot suspended. And it's concurrent with the other 2 cases.
All right, those do sound like quite involved offers. We're gonna reset this case to the June 7th status. Mr. Billings, we need to get some contact information from you. Is Mr. Billings still present? Mr. Billings, okay, you put a phone number in the chat.
He did.
And, all
He
right,
did.
so Mr. Billings, you're gonna be required to, appear again on June the 7th. Please give your attorney a call after this. Give him some time, perhaps give him a call tomorrow about your cases, okay? So we can work
All right.
towards a resolution, okay?
All right.
All right, take care. All right, Mr. Gaither, please continue with your announcement.
Yes, ma'am. Position 19, Khadijah Shabazz. I
Okay.
spoke to her, but we need some, I sent her a share file with the, which is an electronic copy of the file. And I don't remember whether it was a video or not. Whatever's in the file, I had to walk her through how to open it. So she's just opened it, talked to her about the case a little bit while we were out in the hallway. And we still need just a little time to further discuss the state's offer.
Okay, so it's,
Or any other options, I should say.
Ms. Giffier, will you put that offer onto the record?
Yes, Your Honor, for count 1, it is 12 months probation, 12 weeks of anger management classes, 40 hours of community service, and no contact with Ricky Bolden, and stay away from 7585 Thoreau Circle. Count 2, 12 months probation, no contact with the victim, and stay away from the
And
incident
your
location.
client's not interested in that offer at this time.
Well, I need to discuss, there may be some other options, but I'm not aware of what those other options may be. This was an incident that happened at a school.
Okay, this one sounds like we might be close. Let's not do that far out reset.
That's fine.
Let's reset this case to May 31st.
That's fine.
And let's hope that we get that one resolved by then. So Ms. Shabazz, you're gonna reappear on the 31st. You're gonna speak with your attorney between now and then. And it is my hope that we can resolve it by then, okay?
Okay, thank you so much.
Thank you, take care. We'll see you on the 31st.
Okay, thank you.
All right, Mr. Gaither, please continue.
Sure. Position 24, Robert Willis. Did Robert Willis appear on Zoom? Is Robert Willis in the courtroom?
He is not.
And the state will be requesting a bench warrant, Your Honor.
All right, we'll consider that. All right, were there other announcements? Did anybody else that you spoke to qualify?
Yes, Judge. Positions 1, Raphael Adams. 2, Armani Blackshire. I will represent them. I just need some time to file my motions, get the state's discovery in those cases.
Okay.
And then position 6, Terrius Roberts. It shouldn't be Jerry, it should be Terrius.
So
Roberts.
1,
1, 2,
2,
and 6.
and
I'm sorry, 7.
1, 2, and 7.
I will represent them. I just need to file my motions and get the
Okay.
state's discovery.
All right. And I'm assuming that these cases cannot be resolved today. So we will reset those to June 7th as well.
If you hold on one second, Judge, because different cases want this.
Okay, so Ms. Falk, we might be able to resolve. Okay, so we might be able to pre-try some of them today. Is that, okay, so let's hold for those positions, Mr. Gates, and Ms. Falk is here and amenable to resolving some of those. So I understand that you were just put on the case, but it might be possible, and I'm gonna encourage us to at least hear what Ms. Falk would say. So let's pre-try those in a moment. Give me one moment, Ms. Falk, unless you have a more specific announcement. Go ahead.
Just position 8. I know that Mr. Samuels, he arrived late and he stated he wanted to speak with me.
Okay.
I just want to let everybody know, I do have to leave at 3 today, or I have a childcare issue.
Okay.
I mean, the drag race, I didn't have any cases on the calendar
I
until I showed up.
have a child care issue too, Mr. Gaither.
Okay.
But you know, let's try to speak with Ms. Falk as quickly as possible. Okay, can we do that now?
Yes, Your Honor.
Yeah.
All right, are there, do you have any other cases outside of that?
Mr. Seaborn's case, Mr. Mitchell is outside speaking with his client and I have given paperwork.
Okay. All right, Mr. Jackson, I know, did you choose not to speak to Mr. Gaither?
I was trying to get your attention, but
He was waiting to speak to you too. Mr. Jackson.
Who was that?
Mr. Jackson.
Oh, just Mr. Jackson, right. Just add him to the list, Judge. I got him.
Okay. All right, any other announcements online from Ms. Helen or Ms. Githia?
I do not have any announcements, Your Honor.
All right, Ms. Helen, you have any? Yes, ma'am. He was waiting. He was supposed to be applying for Ms. Helen.
When I go to the club, I go to my parks and rest. I do. Yeah, that was his thing.
Darius Roberts as well. All ones, they're all present. So that's why I said there in this case, theirs was just a well on this.
You can do it. You can do it.
First thing like when they think that but as soon as you have to go like on this word, it's just ask for it. So that on that sheet.
June 9th. Let me put that was position. 20. All right. Ms. Helen, were you able to, I know you're on the phone probably, were you able to make contact with Mr. Clark?
Okay. Keep that in your record.
All good, all good.
Have a good day. Thank you for your patience.
Thank you.
All right. Yeah.
Oh, I'm muted. Do we have announcements?
We do. Mr. Seaborn's case is ready to proceed.
Okay.
I have given the offer to the public defender on position 2,
That's Armani Blackshire.
correct? Position 5, which is Mr. Charles Jackson,
Okay.
and position 7. On position 2 and 7, the PD's offices informed me that they have a motion that they would like to file on those 2. So I asked him to send me that motion as soon as he could, so those will not be resolved.
And just so the court know, it's a motion that I previously filed on the exact same case, exact same facts. So before I even file it, it was previously filed and adjudicated, well, not adjudicated, the state we resolved the case. I'm just going to forward Ms. Falk a copy of it. And I'm letting the court know, so it's not like I have to draft it, file it, wait 30 days for a response. I can just send it to her.
Okay. So, Ms. Falk, will a June 7th reset work for you?
I think that would be more than fine.
Okay, so we'll reset those cases there.
And position 5, the state put forth the offer on that case. And it involves basically if the defendant is able to pay the fine, the case is closed.
Okay.
And that is on Mr. Jackson's case,
Yes.
Judge, and consider Mr. Jackson. We just need a small reset.
Okay, we'll reset
Even
that.
May 31st will be good.
What was the amount of the fine, Ms. Falk? You wanna put that?
$500 fine.
Okay, Mr. Jackson, do you want to resolve this case today and pay a $500 fine? Or would you like a further reset and speak to Mr. Gaither a little bit more?
I don't mind paying $500 because I got some brothers, so I'm trying to make sure I'm putting all the points on my license and my insurance or.
Oh, I can't give you any of that advice. Mr. Gaither would have to.
And I kind of had a feeling those few little questions would come up. That's why I said,
Okay,
I know we want to resolve it today, but
We'll reset it to May 31st. Unfortunately, Mr. Jackson, you will have to return that at that time. I'm gonna ask Ms. Falk to please honor that same offer on the 31st, only because we can't resolve it today because Mr. Gaither does have to go.
The state will, however, we do ask that it be set for June 7th. With my other court duties, I would like to
Okay, so
address
you
all
won't be
these in
there.
the same day.
Okay, so with that case, unfortunately, Mr. Jackson will have to be reset to June 7th.
Okay, that's fine, Judge.
Okay. And Mr. Gaither, it looks like these calendars are gonna be happening in the afternoon. So you and I are gonna have some challenges.
Oh, that's fine. As long as I know ahead of time, that's all. I can make preparations.
I understand, same here. All right, June 7th, we'll reset those cases. Mr. Jackson, please give Mr. Gaither some contact information for you, and then you can go. As well as, position 7 was Mr. Roberts.
Right down.
Mr. Roberts, Mr. Roberts, did you give your information to Mr. Gaither? Does he have your phone number, all that?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, you're free to go. Your case is being reset to June 7th. You'll need to prepare at that time. Okay?
Excuse me, so what's the date of that again?
June the 7th.
Was that what time?
It'll be the same time.
Okay, he told me to talk to somebody about going to update my information.
Yes, that's right, Judge. He informed
Name
me,
is misspelled.
not only the name, but his address and phone number has changed. So he needs to update that with the clerk's office. Where does he go? To 5th floor or 1st floor?
Does not want to wait, he can go upstairs and update it upstairs.
On-
As far as his name, the way he was, if the accusation was filed, I cannot change his name.
Oh,
I
that-
re-accuse that case, and re-accuse it, but I
Oh, that's fine. I'm just more concerned about his address so he get the notice. Is it the clerk's office, criminal division still on the 5th floor?
can't.
J150?
On the first floor, go to this elevator, go to the first floor, make a left off the elevator, go to the left.
You got that? Okay.
All right, I'm trying to let Mr. Gaither make all his announcements before we take this, please.
That's it, Judge. I'm done.
That's it, okay.
Yeah.
Was there somebody online? Position 8?
Mr. Samuels hasn't had an opportunity.
Oh, Mr. Gaither, please speak to Mr. Samuels very quickly. If you can.
On a drag race calendar.
Mr. Samuel? Oh, yeah.
It's risky when you come late, Mrs. Daniels. All right, Miss Helen, were you able to speak to Mr. Clark? Can someone message Miss Helen? All right, in the because I think now that Mr. Gaither's gone, she's gonna have to be able to speak to whoever's here. All right, we'll now take up, I'm sorry, this is the case. What position is this? We're done with that.
Petition 9.
So it's gonna be-
Okay, thank you, Ms. Falk, I appreciate that. We're now visiting the case of Dexter Seaborn, 22 CR 007237, in which Mr. Seaborn is charged with driving in a circular or zigzag course lane drag, reckless driving, defective windshield wipers, affixing material to the windows that reduces light transmission, and an equipment violation that includes tail lights, each with the offense date of September the 19th of 2020. Mr. Seaborn, you have a right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you. You also have the right to an attorney. Do you understand your rights today?
Yes, ma'am.
I'm gonna place you under oath for the limited purposes of taking the plea, such that it does not interfere with your constitutional right against self-incrimination. Please raise your hand. Do you swear and affirm the testimony you give today will give the truth to the best of your knowledge and under the penalty of perjury?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, you can put your hand down. Thank you. Ms. Falk, if you proceed with the offer, as well as very brief set of factual basis.
Yes, Your Honor. The offer in this case is on count 1, delaying drag, going to be 12 months probation.
I'm not gonna put you in there. I'm saying, but you probably don't want to do nothing today. That's what I'm saying.
On count 1, it's going to be 12 months probation, a $500 fine. Count 2, the reckless driving, will merge into count 1. Count 3, the defective windshield, will be a $100 fine. Count 4, the window tint violation, will be a $100 fine. And count 5, which is the equipment violation, will be a $100 fine for a total of 12 months probation and $800 in fines.
All right. Mr. Mitchell, was that your understanding of the offer? And do you so stipulate the factual basis ID and venue in this case?
It is my understanding, Judge, and we do stipulate.
All right, I appreciate that. All right, I'm gonna ask you some questions to make sure this is voluntary plea, all right? Are you under the influence of any drugs or alcohol at this time?
No, Your Honor.
Are you satisfied with your attorney's representation?
Yes, Your Honor.
Did anyone force you to take a plea today?
No, Your Honor.
Did anyone promise you anything in exchange for taking a plea?
No, Your Honor.
And you understand by taking a plea, you're giving up your right to go to trial regarding these charges?
Yes, Your Honor.
And you're giving up your right to have the state prove these charges against you beyond a reasonable doubt?
Yes.
And you understand the requirements that you have to pay a fine of $800 and you're gonna be on probation for 12 months?
Yes, Your Honor.
You do understand that?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, and your attorney has fully explained how the nature of taking the plea and how it works?
Yes.
All right, as to the charges that are previously listed, Mr. Seaborn, how do you plead?
No.
Did the state consent to a no plea? And has he used his NOLO in the past 5 years? Do we know?
Has he used it? That I do not know. The defense did not discuss the possibility of a NOLO plea with me. This is the first time I'm hearing that.
Okay.
I would object to a NOLO just because this defendant has used, not used NOLO in the past, but in 2017, he had a previous conviction for laying drag. So this is actually his second time being convicted for that offense.
If he pays the plea today, Mr. Mitchell, I'm gonna ask that he plead guilty. Does your client still want to move forward?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, so as to the charges are previously listed, how do you plead?
Guilty.
I accept your guilty plea. Is there anything further from either party?
Yes, Judge, we just ask that the case be terminated upon payment of the fine amount.
I'll allow it to go non-reporting, but it won't necessarily terminate. All right?
Yes,
Anything
Judge.
further? Anything further, Ms. Falk?
Nothing from the state, Your Honor.
All right, I don't believe you have to sign anything additional. I think you signed everything. Oh, I'm never correct about that. Never correct. All right, once you've signed that and returned to Ms. Redden, you are free to go.
And I think usually they have him take a seat over there on the bench while he waits for the paperwork.
And Mr. Gaither, I know you have to go. Is there an announcement?
Oh, no, I'm good. No, I'm good, Judge. Yeah, position 8, Jacob Samuels, I will represent him. This is a case that's, even though it's a similar charge, same date, the facts a little bit different. So I definitely need to get the state's discovery. So I need to at least file a motion, get the state's file, and then I can discuss the case in more detail with Mr. Samuels.
And he's giving you good contact information for him?
Yes.
All right, so we will reset Mr. Samuels to June 7th. And
Yes,
Ms.
Your Honor, the
Falk-
state would make that request.
And Ms. Falk, if you want to put, do you want to put that offer onto the record?
Yes, Your Honor, as to all of the loitering and prowling cases, so this would be position 8, position 7, and position 2. The recommendation is 12 months probation at $250 fine, probation suspended upon payment of fines and fees.
All right. Understood. All right. All right, Ms. Helen, are you back?
June 7th.
Hi, Judge. I apologize if you've been calling me and I
wanted to know if you had a chance to speak with Mr. Clark. He had put his information into the chat.
I've spoken to Mr. Newsom, position 17 on the status conference calendar, as well as Mr. Clark. I just have to round out my conversation with Mr. Newsom and then ask Mr. Clark or relay the offer to Mr. Clark as it stands. I think we still may be able to work Mr. Clark's case out too.
Okay, so we'll be on hold. Please announce when ready. Thank you.
Thank you, Judge.
Ms. Falk, is that all of your cases? Is your business concluded?
I believe so, Your Honor, may be excused.
Yes, you may. We'll see you back on the 7th, if not before.
Yes, Your Honor.
Is there anyone else still waiting in the courtroom that has not been addressed by Mr. Gaither? Everybody else is a Mr. Gaither position? Okay. And Mr. Gaither, do you have contact information for everyone here in the courtroom?
Yes, you guys free to go.
Yes, you all are free to go as long as you've updated your information with him.
My bad. I'll call you. Reach out to
All
you.
right, take care.
What's your name? Adrian Williams. You had been in court today?
I apologize, Judge. Which ASG is assigned to position 17, Mr. Newsome? If she could, if it's Ms. Githier, could you put that on the record, please?
I believe it's Ms. Githier.
Yes, it is. It's gonna be dependent on if he decides to do DUI court or not.
Okay. Gotcha.
Okay, if he decides to do DUI court, it's going to be a total of 36 months probation.
I apologize. I'm so sorry, Ms. Githier. You got cut off right there. You said, what was that again?
Okay, if he decides to do DUI court, it's going to be on all counts. I'm sorry, the reckless driving will be dismissed. On counts 1, 3, and 4 is going to be 36 months probation to serve 15 days, and the balance probated. Enter and complete the DUI court program, a $700 fine, 240 hours of community service, a risk reduction program, and 1 victim impact panel. If he decides not to do the DUI court, it is going to be 36 months probation to serve, 36 months to serve 120 days, the balance probated, a $1,500 fine, 240 hours of community service, risk reduction program, 1 victim impact panel, alcohol drug evaluation and treatment, random drug, alcohol and drug screens, and no alcohol or drugs.
Understood. And I think this is also with the other case that I have, that's if he is accepted into the DUI court program.
Which other, what case?
I have Ms. McClendon, but also I'm just saying the process for DUI court, it's if his case is accepted, correct?
Hers is a little different because there's 2 cases, so hers is going to be. A
Okay, I see. Okay, let me just relay this to Mr. Newsome, please.
Okay.
Thank you so much.
Your Honor, I do have one announcement that almost slipped by me.
Okay.
Is position 25 on the status conference calendar, Mr. Woods. He's present in court. I will represent him, but of course, this is definitely a case I'm gonna need to, at least file my motion, get the discovery, and speak with, share the discovery with Mr. Woods and talk to him.
Okay. Ms. Githier, will you go ahead and put the offer for Mr. Woods onto the record?
Yes, on both counts, it'll be 12 months to serve 2 days, credit for time served 2 days, 40 hours of community service, and the balance will be probated.
Okay. And I'm assuming your client is not prepared to take that offer today. So we will reset this as well to the June 7th calendar. Mr. Woods, have you given Mr. Gaither your contact information?
Yes.
And he's able to reach you. And your address is current with the court? All right, if you've got contact information, please stay in contact with your attorney. Otherwise, we will see you on June the 7th, okay? I lost my note where I wrote down what was happening. No, it don't matter. I kind of keep a little tick and I don't know what, I think I'm losing it. It's fine. It's gone now. No point in worrying about it.
Yes.
Number 24.
Uh-oh.
Are you going to get in contact with Mr.
Well, yeah, you know what? Let me see, do I have this, okay, now I remember. I don't have contact information from Mr. Willis. This was a file that was handed to me from someone else. Yeah, and I don't have any contact information from Mr. Willis.
All right, take care, Mr. Gaither. See you soon. All right, Miss Helen, we're still waiting for these. We're still waiting on Mr. Clark and Mr. Newsome. Are those our last two positions? Okay. What position was that? From the regular status. It says reset for motions. Okay, any FTA today?
Yes.
Okay. Okay, let's put him on the show cause then.
Who's that, Mr. Willis?
Yes.
Yeah, because the only thing I had a number form from the application, but it kept saying that the person can't accept calls and this time. I'm saying the same thing, yeah. And that's what I'm saying. Other than that, I don't have anything else.
But I don't have a return to sender.
So he does know about this case because he appeared at least one. We'll put it on the show cause.
Okay. So if you don't have return to sender, okay, that's.
I mean, you allegedly you got the
That
notice.
gives me something to work with.
You are assumed to have gotten it.
1040 Maple Leaf, McDonough, Georgia, is that the address you have?
And you spoke with him recently, Mr. Gaither?
Oh, I haven't. I have not.
You lost him.
No, this was one, this was Ms.
Ms.
Walker,
Gant's case.
Ms. Gant's case, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I do have the same address, you make a leave and make that.
We'll put him on show cause.
What I will also do, Mr. Gaither, is a lot of times when I look at work, you know, you want it, well,
Yes, I do.
I'll send a notice to an email.
Okay.
So either if you send a notice, can you copy me on it? Yeah, copy me on it, because a lot of times it seems like folks respond, it seems like when they get them, y'all notice that when they get emails from you guys from the clerk's office, all of a sudden people start popping up. Then they start blowing my phone, 2,000 3,000 days.
Those who've been on status since their first time will be reset to the next available show cause. I'm not gonna do the bench warrants there. Those who did not appear from the show cause this morning, bench warrant be issue. Claim for final plea. Those who did not appear from, everybody appeared from the drag racing calendar, correct? So we have that issue, everybody came.
Everyone left FTA from.
Status still goes to show cause. Everyone who FTA from show cause, bench warrant shall issue. Those who didn't appear for final plea show cause will issue. Who didn't appear on drag racing? I thought everybody came.
Position number 6.
Orca received case from division. Yeah. I guess that speaks to the notice though, maybe. I don't know.
Let me call this.
What we said. See, I'm just, right, it would go to June 7th, but what I'm trying to figure out is most of the people who ended up on here have spoken to somebody, appeared at some time. So, and that's not true of the other case. Well,
Not so far.
not on our,
Correct.
okay, so we'll reset that one, June 7th.
Which case is that?
That is position number 6, Brianna Redfern. Had you heard anything, Ms. Giffey, on the drag racing calendar?
I was listening, but I was working.
That's fine. On the, we're gonna reset Ms. Redfern, even though we know the state would request a bench warrant. We'll reset that one time to the June 7th status calendar. On the final plea from this morning, we had one FTA with no notes. I only have one FTA from this morning. Could that be correct?
From the final plea.
Oh, I have 2.
Position number 4.
Position 4 and position 8 are the only ones I have.
So I'm gonna put them on a show call.
Yes.
Did you say this red firm is going on a status calendar and not show call?
No, wait a minute.
You did, because that's the drag racing case from this fall.
Right, so it's going to where the rest of Ms. Falk's cases are going. Oh, wait, let me clarify one thing. On the final plea calendar, the position 4, it says per Judge Morrow, the case was supposed to be set
For today.
in-person notice. So it seems like he's been here. I don't know why he didn't come today. If so, no probation. Wait a minute, case is set. It sounds like this was a compliance issue almost.
So what I'm gonna do is, I'm gonna discuss this one that you met, Riley and CGA because of the conditions of probation. Because they weren't gonna allow the probation to be required.
Right, so he probably needs to go back to another final plea, but still discuss that one. Ms. Giffey, I know you did not do the calendar this morning. However, do you have any information about the case of Jose Garcia, which would have been number 4 on the final plea? He failed to appear. I know that the state will request a bench warrant. However, I see some notes where there were discussions about whether he was, that he had already completed the conditions.
Let me
So
go in and see.
it's 19 CR 006027G. And if it's just a compliance, well, that's still a probation issue.
It was a compliance.
Slash
If we
probation.
completed it, then probation.
It wasn't gonna be required. Okay, so he could go to,
Excuse me, Your Honor. Has Corey Clark already been addressed? He's still on here.
We're waiting for Ms. Helen to give us an announcement regarding that case.
Okay.
We're just trying to do some work on the interim. Thank you for checking. And Ms. Helen, we are ready for your announcements at whatever point you have them. Okay. That's fine.
And then opposition. But him on the show ball.
Right, for failure to show. That's fine. That works for me.
All right, man. Judge, I think that concludes my business, man. Be excused.
Yes, you may.
All right.
Make it so you avoid
Oh,
those fees.
yeah, it's not too far from here. It's just that my my wife arranges her work schedule on my court schedule. And so that's why I said, as long as I have notice, but when it comes up, oh shoot, my wife's at work, I'm here. The kids can get stranded. We want to get defects called on because there's a system principal already fussed at me twice for picking the boy up 5 minutes late. Oh yeah.
At least you don't have daycare fees. I still have those.
Well, yeah,
Those are by the minute.
those days are over, but I do know that $1 a minute up to the
It's $5. No, it's $5.
And Judge, thank you, and the courtroom, thank you for.
You gotta pay that day too. When you show up, you gotta come up with the money. You can't bring your kid back the next day. Yeah.
Cannot. That's very accurate. Take care, Mr. Gaither. All right, Ms. Helen, your announcement.
Yes, I apologize about the wait. For Mr. Clark, I do believe we have a negotiated plea. I can fill out that paperwork, or Ms. Githier, I apologize. I can either submit my plea on behalf of Mr. Clark, but he is amenable to that offer from the state. And then, not to rush that announcement, but for Mr. Newsome, position 17, we are not going to be able to resolve that today. I believe Mr. Newsome needs to get time to process the offer that I just relayed to him, Judge.
We'll give him a short reset until the 31st.
Please. And is that of this month?
Yes, May 31st.
May 31st is the same time, 1:30, Judge?
Yes, and if he intends to take a plea, what I'm gonna ask is that you have the completed paperwork submitted to the court ahead of time. All right?
Thank you, Judge.
All right.
And is Mr. Newsome free to go? I believe.
Mr. Newsome is free to go.
Thank you, Judge.
All right, Ms. Githier, if you have put the state's offer for Mr. Clark onto the record, Ms. Helen, you can keep working on the paperwork, but let's at least go through the line of questioning.
Understood, Judge.
Mr. Clark, let's go through this. I'm sorry, your case is 20 CR 004985F. You're charged with battery family violence with the offense date of October the 8th of 2020. You have a right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you. You also have the right to an attorney. Do you understand those rights?
Yes, ma'am, I do.
All right, I'm going to place you under oath. Please raise your right hand. Do you swear and affirm the testimony you give today will be the truth to the best of your knowledge and under the penalty of perjury?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, you can put your hand down. Thank you. Ms. Githier, please proceed. And Ms. Reddy, Ms. Githier, you're on mute. And Ms. Reddy, people who were incarcerated, will you put a note about that too? Go ahead, Ms. Githier.
On the charge of battery family violence, the sentence, the state's offer is 12 months to serve 5 days, credit for time served 5 days, balance probated, a family violence intervention program, 40 hours of community service, and no further contact with the victim, Jasmine Clark.
All right.
And Your Honor, that is our understanding of the plea. I have relayed that specific plea to Mr. Clark. He agrees to those terms. However, Judge, I would ask this court if he be allowed to use his nolo contenderary for this plea. And if, the state doesn't have an objection.
Ms. Githier, does the state object? And if you do, I'd like to hear his history if you have it. And again, I'd like the very brief factual basis in this case.
Yes, Your Honor, the state will object to a nolo. This is a battery family violence situation. And let me just pull up his.
Person and critically injuring several others. We're sort of watching the puzzle here come together and showing you these live pictures and watching along with you as Atlanta Police and several other agencies, the Fulton County Sheriff's Office, Cobb County and Smyrna Police pool their resources in search of the.
Mr. Clark, please mute.
Yes, ma'am.
I am seeing driving offenses. There was a 2014 battery family violence. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. One moment. Looked like that battery family violence was no plus.
Okay.
And I'm seeing driving offenses.
Okay. And very briefly, Ms. Gippier, you tell me what the allegations are supporting the state's recommendation here?
Yes. Okay, on this particular day, Mr. Clark and his wife, Mrs. Clark, were involved in a physical altercation. When she arrived home that day, they began to argue. She left the room and went into a friend's room. Mr. Clark, I'm sorry, Your Honor.
Okay, I think I understand. That's fine. I just wanted to make sure.
I do want to just point out on this particular date that there was a physical altercation.
Between the two.
Officers did arrive. There was dried up blood on her bottom lip, on her sweatshirt, as well as her mouth. The defendant threw her on the bed and began punching her in the face, the back, and the stomach, and then threw her on the floor.
Okay. All right. One question, is the no contact provision going to present a challenge? Does Mr. Clark understand the no contact provision, Ms. Helen?
Judge, I've already spoken to Mr. Clark. He hasn't had contact with her over 3 years and he does not want contact. He's very happy about that provision because he does not want that person near him.
Okay, in light of the fact of his limited history, I will allow him to plead no law at this time. All right, Mr. Clark, reminding you that you're under oath. Are you under the influence of any drugs or alcohol at this time?
No, ma'am.
Are you satisfied with your attorney's representation?
Yes, ma'am.
Did anyone force you to take a plea today?
No, ma'am.
Did anyone promise you anything in exchange for taking a plea?
No, ma'am.
And you understand that taking a plea may affect other aspects of your life, such as employment or anything like that, immigration? You understand
Yes,
that?
yes, ma'am.
And your attorney has fully explained this plea to you and all the requirements and what it may involve? Do you feel fully informed?
Yes, ma'am, I do.
All right, and you understand you're giving up your right to have the state prove these charges against you beyond a reasonable doubt?
Yes, ma'am.
And you'll have no further court dates regarding these charges?
No, ma'am.
All right, as to the charges I previously listed, how do you plead?
Guilty.
I accept your plea, guilty plea, Mr. Clark. Make sure that you have no contact with Ms. Clark and that you complete your 40 hours of community service. Am I missing any provisions, Ms. Githia?
Oh, I know, he said guilty, but I just wanna, for the record, it is a no.
Oh, it's supposed to be
no,
no. I'm sorry, I accept your
Okay.
no love plea. Ms. Githia, did I miss any provisions? 40 hours of community service, no contact with Ms. Clark?
Oh, you're muted.
You're muted.
The Family Violence Intervention Program is.
Oh,
what?
that's what I thought. And he's also to complete this FFIP class. You do understand that, Mr. Clark?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, Ms. Helen, anything
And-
further? Ms. Githia, anything further?
I just CC'd and emailed the plea to Ms. Redden and Ms. Githia. Just let me know if or you've received that.
Okay.
And Judge, I do apologize. I do ask for at least 6 months of the probation fees to be waived. That is about the time for that family violence intervention program to be completed. I just want him to have a little bit more cushion to be able to just complete that program within that time period too, Judge.
Does he have an extenuating circumstance that he's such that cannot afford the probation fees, Ms. Ellen?
Yes, Judge, and also the family violence intervention program itself is gonna cost about it's gonna be about $700 to $800, Judge, because it's about 24 classes. I just at least ask on behalf of Mr. Clark, at least 6 months probation fees to be waived.
All right, if we waive those, I also waive those, but I am, because of the nature of the charge, I am gonna require that he report the whole time.
Understood, Judge. Do you understand that, Mr. Clark? It'll be for the full 12 months.
Yes, I do.
All
Thank
right,
you, Judge.
all right, I believe Mr. Clark, Mr. Clark has to give his information so that he can report to probation.
I thought I scanned that
You sent
probation.
it? Oh,
sheet.
you sent it in? Okay, then Mr. Clark, you're free to go.
Thank you.
And Judge, I guess I don't know if this is for the court or for probation services. Are they not accepting online certifications for family violence intervention classes or for anger management classes?
I'm not aware.
Okay, I just didn't know if that was something brought to the court's attention, but thank you.
I have
Judge.
no idea.
Thank you, Judge.
All right.
Are Mr. Clark and I excused for the day?
Hold 1 second, let me make sure everything is accurate. Oh. Technically. They should have circled that, yeah. All right, yes, you're free to go at this time.
Right, thank you.
Thank you,
All right,
Judge. Thank you,
take
Mr.
care.
Clark.
I believe that concludes the entire calendar. Once Ms. Redden reviews it for us, we will be in recess until the Orca status calendar on Friday.
Oh, your honor, regarding position 13, because there was a bench warrant issued in April of 2022. Would that one be another bench warrant issued or?
I'm gonna reset. I understand that that already happened. I'm just gonna put everything that was on status on the show cause.
Thank you.
Thank you. And I appreciate, I do understand the state's objections and acknowledge them.
Okay, I'll go over the Orca status drag racing case calendar. Position number 1, reset status June 7th. Position number 2, reset status June 7th. Position number 3, plea. Position number 4, plea. Position number 5, reset status June 7th. Position number 6, reset status June 7th. Position number 7, reset status June 7th. Position number 8, reset status June 7th. Position number 9, plea. Position number 10 was null pros on April 27th. This calendar for all resets will be in person. Orca status conference calendar, position number 1, reset status June 7th. Position number 2, reset status June 7th. Position number 3, reset status June 7th.
Position number 4, reset status June 7th. Position number 5, reset status June 7th. Position number 6 and 7, reset status June 7th. Position 8, plea. Position 9, reset status June 7th for compliance. Or did we decide, Ms. Githia, you're gonna null process that one?
Yes, I did send the null process order.
Okay.
And you know, I sent it directly to you also.
Okay, I will have Judge sign it today, so case null process. Position number 10, reset status June 7th. Position 11, reset final plea June 7th. Position number 12, the defendant is in jail, so I'm going to further notice that to verify his custody status, and I will reset that according to the calendar based on what I find. Position number 13, reset show cause June 7th. Position 14, 15, both reset status June 7th because the defendant is going to, or Ms. Helen is going to see if the defendant is accepted into DUI court. Position number 16, reset show cause June 7th. Position number 17, reset status May 31st. If a plea is going to be taken, the paperwork needs to be submitted in advance. Position number 18, reset status June 7th. Position 19, reset status May 31st. Position 20, the defendant was FTA, reset show cause June 7th. Position number 21, the case was null pros on April 27th. Position number 22, request jury trial. Position number 23, reset for Friday status calendar June 9th. Position 24, reset show cause June 7th. Position number 25, reset status June 7th. Questions, comments, changes? All right, hearing none, we will all be in recess until the next Orca status or final plea. Please take care. Oh, Mr. Newsom, you've been free to go. All right,
I just have one more question, Your Honor, if I may.
I'm afraid, but go ahead. What's your question?
Why could I have more time like June 7th, like everyone else? Because I have to really talk to my family and try to decide what I'm gonna do. 31st is kind of soon.
I don't remember the circumstance. It sounds like your attorney's gonna be able to resolve it. That one is on Zoom as well, Mr. Newsom. Again, if your attorney speaks with you between now and then, and she feels more time is necessary, she can come back and ask for a further reset. All right, so the May 31st day will stand, okay?
All right, that's fine.
All right, take care.
Mhm.
And are you driving?
No, I'm actually on a job right now.
Okay, well, make sure that you're in a stationary vehicle when you appear back to court, all right?
Okay.
All right, take care. Bye-bye.
Mhm.